start out with just some maintenance items. First of all, thank you all so much for coming out on this night. It really means a lot to me. Thank you to 7A. Thank you to all my friends. I grew up playing out just outside of here, and so this whole show means a lot to me. I brought some of my friends. I brought some great comics to tour from all over Texas. And we're just going to have a great old night. With that being said, if you could please silence your cell phones. And if something comes up and you feel like you just absolutely have to talk to your neighbor, please go in the back or outside. These comics have worked a long time on their act. We don't want to distract them, but they're definitely professionals, and they might make fun of you. We don't want that either. That being said, I just got back from a trip to the coast with my wife's family, and the reason I call it a trip and not a vacation is because I was with my wife's family. We've all been there before. I did learn some things. I learned about the MVB. Do you guys know what the MVB is? It's kind of a newer thing. It's the most valuable bed. It's very important when you're on a couple's trip with your whole family. We learned what the MVB is. It's not the biggest bed. It's not the bed with the best view. It's the bed that makes the least amount of noise. If you can't figure out it's because of fucking, that's what it's because of. And if you get the squeaky bed, it just makes for an awkward breakfast. But I'm fine with that. It was fun. While we were down there, we snuck away, we got some massages, and they were supposed to be like separate massages, but we got there and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, we only have one room left. Is it okay if you guys get a couples massage? I was just like, this is my time away from her. That's where I want to relax. Yeah, when I met my wife, I'd actually never had a massage before. She insisted that I get one, so we went and got it. And I was actually the massage therapist's very first customer. Neither of us had any idea what we were doing, like boxers on, boxers off. As a guy, do you make noise getting a massage? Serious question. You had a massage before, sir? Never had one? Oh, guys need to treat themselves. Well, I sat there silent like a serial killer, and I don't think that's the right thing to do either. We were getting ready to go. She just goes, dress to your comfort. I was like, do you got any more layers back there? We got going. She asked me what kind of pressure I wanted. I said, somewhere between an SAT test and a first date. I was like, no, wait, how about peeing at an open urinal? She couldn't relate for whatever reason. I did discover the key to couples massages. Who here likes a couples massage? Show of hands. We got a couple people. It's not a trick question, just an honest question. I think I figured out the thing about couples massages. They're great when you're a new couple. After you've been married like 15 years, all I can hear is the other massage therapist working on my wife like, wow, there sure are a lot of stress knots in here. I wonder what those are from. If you've been married long enough, you know what I'm talking about. That's great. I've been married for 17 years, so performing up here is a lot like my sex life. My wife's in the back board while I'm being vulnerable for strangers. Usually lasts a couple minutes. If I do good, I put it on the internet. Not with that response, not tonight. No, this one's just for us. This one's not leaving Pioneer Town. Now, she's beautiful, and I look like this. So that means that every time we eat at nice restaurants, they always assume I'm her brother, I'm autistic, and it's my birthday! I really like sweets too, so I just play along. I'm just like, cake and ice cream! They bring it. They bring it an uncomfortable amount of times is how often they bring it. Now we have 3 lovely children at home, and the youngest of our 3 boys, he's starting to learn about money, and he's asking some questions that are a little inappropriate. And I want to teach him a lesson. He keeps asking us how expensive our house is. Now I live in the country and he didn't understand mortgage, so I finally broke down and told him. He was just like, wow, Dad, how'd you get $200,000? I go, well, son, there used to be 4 of you. Get it? I sold my oldest kid. People in Texas get really uncomfortable when I tell that, don't worry, I have no children at home because I sold the other 3. It was a package deal. If you ever want to know how your wife or your significant other feels about you, you should send them to the store with a bunch of money, have them buy a bunch of those new age crystals, and come back and explain them to you. My wife came back, she goes, this first one here, that's for sexual function. Okay. The second one here, that's for wealth and integrity. And this third one, if the first 2 don't work, that one's great for separations. Yeah, my wife's great. She laughs at everything. I remind myself that every time I get naked. It really helps for morale. But her family's from Virginia. We took a trip there recently, and Virginia was pretty cool. Almost everyone could read. We're hanging out with Steve, and he's just staring at the paper. He goes, this gosh darn Obama, first they give him the Nobel Peace Prize, and now they're naming Old Military Road after him. I go, Steve, it's not pronounced barracks, it's barracks. He didn't get it. Some of y'all around there don't either. You must be from Virginia. That's fine, I don't blame you for that. But we're back here in Texas. I want to clear up some things. People say Texans care about history. Texans don't care about history. I can prove it to you. Texans don't care about history because they make the coaches teach it in the portals. Yeah, we're about to get real local right now. We're about to get very local. All right, he's not here. I hope. Coach Saucier up there. All right, team. This week we're discussing the fall of Rome. To illustrate the year 2001 historical film Gladiator. Next week we'll be discussing the dynasties in China. Don't get too excited. We have the year 2001 historical film Gladiator. We just watched Gladiator every single day in that class. That's not a lie. Didn't even make sense. It was Texas history. What else they let coaches teach in Texas?
Sex ed.
Sex ed health class, that's right. Miss Hargraves, I asked her so many times, if you're not going to tell us what the holes do, can you at least tell us where they're located? She couldn't. What else? Speaking of the children, I actually mentor children. My mentor kid named Marcus and Kyle at Wallace Middle School. Marcus and I, we play a lot of basketball. And we're wrapping up before the summer started, and he goes, hey mentor Jack, how does it feel that you get beat one-on-one by a 12-year-old every week? I was just like, I don't know, Marcus, how does it feel that your mom thinks you should be mentored by a 36-year-old unemployed Swiftie? How does that feel, Marcus? How does that feel? I put the tier and volunteer. No, that's a dumb joke. I just recently learned I'm a Swiftie. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I just come fast, Swiftie. Too much fun up here. People say kids don't want to work these days. I think it really depends on the kid. I was a kitchen manager for many, many years. I had my younger crew on lock. I did all the things my favorite kitchen managers did before me. I showed up on time, I treated everyone with respect, and then I sold them weed after the shift. Quarters are for closers, and we're like dime bags and grams, but you guys get it, right? You guys can figure it out. Yeah, the last place I was a kitchen manager at was a little place called Torchy's Tacos. Anyone heard of Torchy's Tacos? Yeah, you're not going to like this next one. Here's the last thing I learned as a kitchen manager at Torchy's Tacos. White people be fucking up tacos, man. There's a lot of white people in here, I'm not afraid to say it. I think white people should suffer for the rape and genocide of taco culture, and here's why. I will not stand idly by while we teach these children that fried chicken and poblano ranch is a taco. It's a motherfucking rap, it always has been, always will be. That's the real CRT. It's not critical race theory, it's Caucasians ruining tacos. CRT, I can take that one. Yeah. What else? Theme months are very popular. We're about to hit my favorite theme month, which is, I created this one. It's Try to Sober October. It's really difficult because right before that is Shit-Face September. Now we're right in the middle of Shit-Face September, and my wife absolutely hates that month, but it's way better than the month it replaced. It was Sexual Predator September. Now come with me on this one. It's an awareness month, not an action month. I just want to be clear. So we talk about the ones that got away with it, like Michael Jackson or Gandhi. But you don't talk about R. Kelly during Sexual Predator September, not because he got caught, but because he's more of an April Showers kind of guy. I know that's an old joke. It's almost old enough to pee on. That's the joke. If you don't know R. Kelly, look it up. This is an R-rated show. It's actually a PG-13 show. It's not a dark show. I'll end it on a completely true, real story about me driving home in the hill country when I was 18 years old. So I had divorced parents. My mom lived in Waverly, my dad lived in Austin. I spent a lot of time driving back and forth. And it was Sunday night, after a long weekend, I was completely sober, but I was very, very tired. I was driving out on 12, and I fell asleep and I wrecked my car. But also I was masturbating. True story. Feels just as awkward as this does right here. I rear-ended the one car within a 5-mile radius. It's the only time I ever regret hitting it from the back. What's the first thing you do when you wreck a car masturbating? Put your dick away, right? You assume that. No, the penis has very strong survival instincts. Mine basically inverted and zipped up on the way in. For y'all that are hating me right now, don't worry, karma got me. Now I have this dumb kink where anytime people mention insurance, I start to get hard. If I'm ever struggling in the bedroom, I make my wife dress up like that insurance lady. Icy flow, it's time to go. All state and I'm all stiff. And my favorite, that little gecko makes my guy grow. Fuck that one up. That whole set is true. This is a comedy show, except I did exaggerate one thing. I make my wife dress up like Jake from State Farm. Are you guys ready for a comedy